Well, hello guys, ¿cómo están? ¿Cómo están? How is everybody feeling today? Today probably is the game that you are going to see me be annoyed. I haven't been annoyed in a while now. It's been probably since the game against Juventus where I felt like this, where I felt that actually Barcelona were lacking so much. It's just so underwhelming, really, because sometimes you want to see this team reacting, and this turn of events in this game didn't just follow through. It just didn't. It just really didn't. Let me know your opinions, guys. Let me hear what you have to say, because in all due respect, with what happened to everybody, to every single player on that field, to every single one of us watching, I was so annoyed. My goodness, when the goal came and we saw it be another individual mistake, I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to say, how to feel, because you were just going to be seeing the wave of haters on Koeman and so many people blabbing so much shit, honestly. But thankfully, we at least pull one back through Dembele, which Dembele today has to be... he's the game changer. He's the most important player Barcelona has right now after Messi and Ter Stegen. I have to say it like that. I really have to say that Dembele, when you do a tier list of players which are most important for Barcelona right now, it's Messi, it's Ter Stegen, and then it's Dembele. Frankie de Jong can come later, he can, but Dembele is up there. Dembele is really up there. That is what we need to see. If this guy can be fit, I rest assured he's gonna create. Rest assured he's gonna provide assists. Rest assured he's gonna be scoring goals. Dembele is what we need. My goodness, that is what I wanted to see. And just like Forza Barça says right now, one of our moderators, it's vintage Barça 2020. It really is Barça vintage 2020. It's just every single game. Like today I woke up, I don't know about you guys, but every single time I wake up, there's sun in the sky. I can see it, it's shining, it's a good day, I got the good vibes. And we have to see this shitty performance. The first half was just so underwhelming. I don't want to get into that much. That was scrappy, that was boring. I fell asleep from the minute 32 to minute 42. 10 minutes I fell asleep. I didn't fall asleep, but you know, when your head goes like that, yeah, that happened to me from minute 32 to minute 42. But after that, honestly, the second half was more entertaining in the sense that just the game was broken. I don't know about you guys, but every time when you see a game of football, you see the two managers with the game plan. That's kind of where they want to start. With Koeman, of course, it is this new formation with the three at the back, and we're going to be discussing that formation later in this live stream with you guys. But I just have to get it off my chest. Like sometimes when you see these games, you know, you see the game plan. Mendilibar wanted to pressure. Koeman wanted to go with this new formation, and you push yourself forward. You try to win the game your own way. And some goals, some stupid thing happen, like the mistake from Araujo, and just everything gets turned inside out. And that's what happened in this game, because after the goal, which I'm not too sure in what minute came. Let me just check it out right now. Barcelona versus Eibar. It came in minute 57. As soon as that goal came in minute 57, the game was broken. It was completely broken. And what do I mean with broken? The plans just fell off the table. Every single player was moving around in different positions. It was just constant madness. And just basically at that stage is where you need three things to win a game. You need effort from your players to win it. You need character so that you remain calm and not lose yourself into what is a nasty battle that some teams like Atletico Madrid can get you into, where you're just making stupid fouls and lose concentration. No, you need that. You need attitude, you need character, you need effort, you need focus. All of those things are what matters. And on top of that, I think the final thing that you need to win this game is just drive. It's just resilience and motivation that you can put yourself under. Because, for instance, for me, one of the best players that I point out at here in this game in Twitter for me was Junior Firpo. Because Junior Firpo, not only did he play good in a more natural position as a wingback, but on top of that, he was battling every single dispute that came his way. Every duel, he was trying to win it. Every single thing that came, he just tried to battle it through. He put his body in front of it. He wanted to get the challenge on. He wanted to win it. He wanted to keep the ball safe. He was stretching out, trying to just pass the ball with the kind of tip of his foot if he was not going to get it. He was always trying. And that is what we needed to win this game. And thankfully enough, the team did show that in a sense. It did came back and score that goal through a good combination of Firpo, Coutinho, then Firpo, Trincao, Firpo, Dembélé, bang into the back of the net. Thankfully it happened. It did. But we just need to show more. We need every single player in the field to do that. Because like I said, when games break, you need drive, you need determination to win that game. At the end of the day, this game that we play, football, it's just 11 men playing with a ball. It really is. It's something that you and me can do. Like talent and all of that, yes, of course, it matters. But when things like this happen, the real men show up. And it's just about how much effort can you put in those games to win it. And Barcelona has been lacking that for the longest of times. Liverpool, Roma, Juventus a while back, Juventus 4 years ago, all of those games don't happen if you have that drive, if you have that motivation to continue and push yourself forward. And games like this is where you need to react. And the thing, why I'm still backing Koeman, even though we see these results, is that one, these individual mistakes cannot be blamed on Ronald Koeman's management. It really, really can't. How can you put yourself into his boots and say, oh, well, it's Koeman's fault because Araujo committed a mistake? No, there's no way. The penalty miss from Braithwaite, the stupid mistake from Araujo, all of those things are just from the players. And that is something that they need to reflect on themselves. But in the case of the manager here in Ronald Koeman, he can help better with a system and put the players in the right positions. That's another thing completely. So it's a mix of all of together. But like I said, the reason why I'm still backing Koeman is because I'm seeing that sort of reaction change just a bit. It's slowly but surely getting there. I want to see that. And I don't know if you heard the interview of Messi in La Sexta just a few days ago after Christmas. And in that interview, he said that he also liked Koeman because of that. He said that Koeman was the right decision to make. And I don't think it's just kind of him just speaking for the sake of speaking and, try to buy time. No, I don't think Messi's doing that. Messi's too humble for that. And I believe he honestly does see that Koeman could be the right way, not precisely getting back to the trophies, getting back to the championships, to the titles, but reinstating what Barcelona lost, and it's the attitude. Because if you don't remember, Barcelona were, yes, a flashy team, but to be that flashy team, you need to have warriors. You need to have proper men that's going to be working and do all of that. So yes, indeed, that is something that I believe Koeman is at least trying to fix in this team. Maybe he's not the best tactician. He's certainly not the best manager. So we just have to see what he can instead. And if he's blunt enough to kick players like he did, well, then fine. So before we move into more talking points, I'm going to give you guys some time to speak out your thoughts, because I know a lot of you are going to be a little bit mad, of course, about this game. So give me just 1 second. I'm going to open up this live chat here, because once again, the chat is going pretty slowly in my screen. So I'm going to make it a little bit faster. Just give me 1 second. I'm going to go here. And while I say that, I can say, oh, go check out our video on Frankie de Jong. I can just plug in this video that I made yesterday. If you haven't seen it already, you can go and check it out. We discussed how de Jong needs to improve overall. But more importantly, how can Barcelona help him improve, right? Because that's the thing that we want. So let me just edit here. Go to the live chat, and I'll give you the ability to type more messages in. That's perfect. With you second. Okay, there we go. So back to your question, guys. I have here one from Converse Football that says, look, Buga, Koeman should know better. Clearly, Araujo had no choice even in his sights. I mean, what would you have done if you were Koeman there? That is something that, yes, he has to know better. But I believe that this formation that happened was more to limit the negative that we see in this team. And Koeman, if you could see Koeman in the sideline, he perfectly knew what needed to happen. He was shouting out like, oh, we need to pass it quicker from the back. And Araujo got caught on that. Of course, that is something that Koeman can see. And Koeman could say, you know what, Araujo is not the best passer. Maybe I shouldn't put him as the first choice center back, as the one in the middle. I say, of course. But those are things that we need to value overall. But the other mistakes that we've seen so far, that is something that you cannot put on Koeman. Like it's just basically a lack of concentration. I don't know how to say it, honestly. I cannot blame him. I really, really cannot blame him. If you can, perfect, because at least you have your mindset stronger than mine. But in reality, I can't. I cannot see past it. That's a mistake from Araujo, and that's it. You're being paid to do that job, and if you don't do your job correctly in that sense, then who can the people relying on you to? You know what? That's how I see it. Economic Erud says, the mistakes are from the players, but clearly the players don't see any sort of vision and aren't filled with any confidence. This is Koeman's fault. I do agree with what you say, that in the sense that a manager has to fill the players with that confidence and instill a system. Because of course, at the end of the day, if you're a player and you get constantly shifted around in different formations, into a back three, into then this 4-2-3-1, and even inside the game, how many changes of formations we've seen in a game with Koeman? I believe quite a lot. It's not since Pep Guardiola that we've seen Barcelona change system like that often. So I do understand that. And that's a great point that you're making. If you're a player, you have to go every single day to work and realize, you know what, the people in charge of me, which is the manager in this case, understand what the vision is. And the reality is, guys, that no matter how much criticism we put here, Koeman is not going to go anywhere. The elections are just around the corner, the 24th of January, almost less than a month from now. Elections are going to happen, and then they're going to decide what to do with Koeman. But in my, as realistic as a mindset that I can say, I think Koeman is going to be staying here until the end of the season. I really don't see any way past it. I really, really don't. I don't see Xavi taking in January. I don't see anything crazy like that happening. Koeman is going to be staying here until the rest of January, until the rest of the season. And we have to see how we can remedy the problems that we have. And that is where we can criticize Koeman. It's not that we are just defending the manager. No, the manager does deserve some sort of blame, and that is that he's not helping himself. He still makes decisions that are so god-awful. If we take a look at, for instance, him bringing Busquets at the end of the game, why in this world do you bring in Busquets? When you're losing, what is Busquets going to give you? Busquets is going to give you that solidity when transition, just one name extra when defending, sure. Okay, but that is when you're winning kind of 3-1, not when you're trying to get back a result. That is where you need to see Riqui Puig. If Riqui Puig enters at the stage where Busquets enter, which, once again, let me check quickly. Busquets entered the field at the minute, where are we? Minute 82. Okay, it's still not enough, but at least if you put Riqui Puig there, he still has more of a flair to give. If you put Riqui Puig when he entered normally, that was 7 minutes later, in the 89th minute. What is Riqui Puig going to do there? My goodness, he only had 4 minutes to really show his class. And that is absolute nonsense from Koeman. That is where he needs to understand how to fix this team better. I think that Koeman is prioritizing the dressing room. He's prioritizing trying to keep everything at balance, when in reality, that is not what matters here. What matters is those results at the end of the day, because you're slowly slipping away. Barcelona are so far down behind in the race for La Liga that I'm 100% sure that we're not going to win it. Like, it has to be a miracle, really, for Atletico Real Madrid to, I don't know, happen to a meteorite fall in Madrid, literally like an asteroid just clash into Madrid, and Barcelona can then climb out the table like that. Because from there onwards, there's simply no way that I can see those two teams failing as much as Barcelona has so far. And some of those games, yes, we can blame it on Koeman, because it's not that we can directly say, in my opinion, okay, that game against Cadiz, it was Koeman's fault. But the thing is that we can blame Koeman for denying us the ability to react. We can't blame Koeman to deny us the possibility of getting a comeback. That is the sort of things that we need to blame Koeman for. And I agree with you entirely. That is where you have to put all of your personal agendas aside and put Riqui Puig in the team. Because Riqui Puig is going to give you that energy. We've seen it before, what he can provide with Quique Setién. Riqui Puig is an amazing player, especially in situations like this. And even from the get-go. So, Riqui Puig, we have to see him play in these scenarios. And the same with other players before. Like, at least we're seeing Pedri from the start now. That is at least a positive. We're still seeing Araujo play, which is better. We're seeing Mingueza play, which is better. Des playing, that is good. That is okay. But there's still decisions that Koeman needs to fix before we can see Barcelona in full throttle. Because so far, almost half a season gone, the entirety of 2020, under Koeman, I haven't seen a team of Barcelona where I can go like, that's our team. That is the team that Barcelona needs to play against PSG. We need to find our team. We need to find the team that we're going to be playing for those big games. And right now, I don't trust Koeman in getting one. I really, really don't. We got a super chat from Shakib Saragev, and you say, I'm so frustrated as a Barca fan. No words left. I agree, man. I agree. Like, I remember being a Barca fan, you can just, it was like a theater, you know? It's like when you go to a cinema and you know what you're going to be watching, and you were just happy because you were going to get a little bit of time for you to enjoy something, And now it's like every single time you are drafted into this idea that it's going to change, and it's not changing one bit. And at least I have accepted that. And there seems to be so many people that are taking way too long to realize that Barcelona are going through the most difficult time, and that is where real fans need to show up. So Shakib Sarger, and all of you who are watching this live stream, that is when fans need to show up and rile up together. So at least we're doing that. Do not lose the faith, because at the end of the day, if you go through the moments like this, you will get to enjoy the good ones even more. And you in yourself inside at least will know that you were here when Barcelona was struggling. Debbie Hemming says Braithwaite isn't good enough. Simple, and that's the thing, guys. That is, I think Braithwaite precisely encompasses everything that is happening with Barcelona right now, and I'll explain myself, Debbie. Braithwaite, the penalty miss, and then the offside. The offside, I cannot blame Braithwaite too much for the offside, but certainly the penalty. The penalty miss was god awful. It was like proper school backyard football. That is something that you need to be better, especially at this top level. And when I see Braithwaite, the thing is that when you take a look at this team, for me, Braithwaite is in the starting 11. Why? Because Barcelona has fallen so far down that the attitude and the mentality that I just talked about a few minutes ago matters. That is, the mentality matters a lot. And Braithwaite is still, at least, is giving us that. So when talent doesn't cut it, that effort will. So at least Braithwaite is doing that. But it just tells you that Barcelona are so far gone that we cannot find a balance between talent and effort. We just don't have that right now. We have to choose for one or the other. And that is very underwhelming. Very, very underwhelming. Kayode Ahmed said, send Trincao on loan instead of Puig. I think Trincao, to be honest, for what we saw today, I think he was okay. He started through the left, which precisely he didn't have that many involvements. He just seems to struggle a little bit when it comes to the fast passing. That is something that I just realized that Trincao struggles a lot. He doesn't find himself into the rhythm as quickly from the bench. Perhaps as a starter, he's better because we've seen the best game of Trincao was against Ferencváros. Of course, yes, it was just Ferencváros. But the reality is that when it comes to playing from the get-go, Trincao does look better. So I believe that is one thing that we can analyze for him. But today, overall, I still also believe that he was at least some sort of dynamic. He was at least some sort of influence from the bench. Because that last final shot, I was like, when I saw Trincao, and I want to hear what you have to say here. When Trincao started just kind of dribbling past the players in the box, I was like, okay, this is his goal. This is Francisco's goal. And it just sums perfectly when he shoots with his right foot and he just goes inches wide. It just tells you exactly what is happening with Trincao. He's a guy that has this fixed mentality into one thing and kind of shift and drift to other things. And it's just so painful to watch. It really is so painful to watch. Trincao only needs a goal, and I'm so sure of it. Like Mr. Nobody is saying here, Trincao needs a goal. He's just moments away from actually turning his reaction around in Barcelona. It really is just a goal away. I don't know how to say it. He just needs a goal. My goodness. Baxter says here, can Trincao play as a striker and be kind of like a Luis Suarez? He's tall, and if he gains more muscle, then at least he can play the part. I'm not too sure whether he can play as a striker because he's good in tight spaces. That is something that we've seen so far. Trincao is good in dribbling past those players like we see in this game. But the reality is that I am not sure that Trincao reaches the space as well as other players like Dembélé, like Ansu Fati can. For me, if there's out of those players precisely a ranking that I can make quickly, like I think Ansu Fati as a striker is more normal. We could see that happening. Then Dembélé and then Trincao. That's the order I would put them in. And here I read a word, Senin Bears. You have the right word for me. Trincao is anxious. That is the right word to describe Trincao right now. Because it's like he wants to make something happen. And the reality is you just got to keep it calm. Keep it calm, kid. Keep it calm. And your time is going to come. It's going to come. Today was his birthday. I'm not too sure if you know. The 28th of December is Trincao's birthday. And I just wanted Trincao to get the goal, honestly. If he got this goal, it would just sum up perfectly. It would be the perfect moment. Like, Trincao on his birthday scoring the winner, and it was just such a heartbreak to see not going in. It was disastrous. It really was disastrous. As a striker, like I said, yeah, like Omar, it doesn't really make too much sense. I think he's a right winger, and he's just a right winger. That's the problem with players like this, where they're just one position, and literally Trincao's position is just a right winger. I would like to see how Barcelona would have played if Dembélé shifted side with Trincao. That is something that also I can blame Koeman on. I do not understand what was that sort of thinking. After the goal that came from Dembélé, shift them around, put Dembélé on the left, put Trincao on the right, because that is what you need to see. You need to see some sort of reaction that can catch Eibar off track, you know? If they see Dembélé then suddenly coming for the left and then suddenly coming for the right, and they're constantly interchanging positions, that is something that can happen and something that can be good in helping us destroy these defensive setups. Because you may be thinking, how can then so many big teams be able to get past these smaller sides? Well, the thing is that naturally you have this attack that just shifts and shifts, because that is one of the ways that you're able to break down a team. It's not just via your wingers, it's not just via through balls. No. If you have an attack that constantly shifting around, then defenders do not know who to mark. And that is where teams like Bayern Munich are so easily to destroy teams. Because Koeman can come at you for the left, then suddenly the next attack is for the right. Gnabry is through the middle, Müller is through the left, Lewandowski is on the left, then Müller is at the top. Now, it's constantly changing, and that is something that Barcelona did so good before. Especially, I think the best side of Barcelona that did that was Messi, Neymar, and Suarez. But even before that, Pedro, Villa, Messi, Eto'o, Thierry Henry, yeah, they were constantly shifting around, and that is something that we need to improve on. So the 4-3-3 indeed is something that I would like to see more of. I believe that's probably the best formation as we can get in football. And Trincao there, yes, of course, Trincao there would be amazing. But we're just not playing that with Ronald Koeman. So once again, like we say, we just have to stick to what we've got, because we're not going to be seeing changes, in my opinion, until next season. Omar Guzman, yeah, I never seen him play on the left. Indeed, it was, for me, caught me off guard. Why was Trincao playing for the left? Emmanuel Magdaleno Jr. saying, the game changed as soon as Koeman made his subs, but we were lacking our finishing. If you don't know how to finish your chances, the other team will. And indeed, that's what happened. I listened to while I'm kind of tweeting out my kind of match review on Twitter, and publishing this video and making the changes. I listened to the match reactions, and Quique Garcia, the striker from Eibar that scored against us, he said that precisely that. He said that he was surprised how Barcelona didn't take his chances, and how on the moment that Eibar strike? On the moment that what's the past tense of strike? I don't know. I'm just gonna say when Eibar strike, that is when Eibar scored. So that, of course, is something that Barcelona needs to improve on by a landslide. We're not good enough finishing, and that is where, yes, indeed, a number 9 like Suarez, a natural, potent goal scorer, can come in handy, and that is why teams win. Ultimately, you need a 9 because they're gonna pull you out of games like this, and Messi, on top of that, can also pull you from it because he just has a natural raw instinct to score goals, and that is what Barcelona are lacking today. We didn't have a single player on that field that had that ability. We had Martin Braithwaite, which indeed, yes, he's a number 9. BR9, Ronaldo Nazario in Danish form. Indeed, Braithwaite is there, but he's not good enough. He's going to be good from the bench and all of those things. But in reality, we need someone better. And that is these games. These games where you're lacking, a number 9 can get you the win. Like Suarez, like Erling Haaland, they can get you the win. Kevin Akbar said Dembélé, man of the match, actually did some good runs, crosses, passes, and scored the goal. Indeed, for me, the thing that really stands out about Dembélé is that not only he runs just for the sake of running, he's improving that from when he was a kid. His runs now actually make sense. He has them with purpose. He goes and cuts inside either through the right to the left and just looks for an opening. But one thing that I can add to him, and for many players indeed, and why I like, for instance, Ansu Fati on top of others, is that indeed he has a good decision making. Ansu Fati has a better decision making than Dembélé, in my opinion. That is where Dembélé needs to improve on. If Dembélé can just improve that last bit of his game, finishing wise, he's okay. He's not the best, but can be damn good sometimes. But the crosses, the low balls, the passes, when to cut, when to pass back, those little things. If Dembele gets them right, we're gonna be seeing a better Dembele. But so far, he's just, like I say, a good player. But damn, if he's fit and he continues, you can see the quality is there to battle it out with Haaland, Mbappe, Rashford, those players that can dominate for the next years to come. Dembele can be up there, but it's just if he remains fit. Shakib, with another donation, thank you, Shakib. You say, what do you think Grisi didn't step up for the penalty? I mean, is this pre-decided who takes the penalty or who steps up or asks it for the moment? Most of the time in football, you have a predetermined player, like a list. So normally when you go and you have a lineup, right? Let's say lineups are announced to the players, maybe in training, like 2 days before, or it can be precisely at the moment. So perhaps Koeman, I believe Koeman is more of a manager from what I get from him, that he puts his lineups like up on the board the day of the game. So when you are, let's say I'm Pedri, I go to the game and I see, bang, my name is on there, then I'm playing. That's how I know. But yeah, let's say I'm Pedri. I know that's who I am. I see to the right, there's the penalty takers. And normally you're going to have like 1, 2, 3, 4. So one, perhaps it was Braithwaite, it could be Griezmann. But if it's Griezmann, Griezmann can say, you know what, Braithwaite, get in here, Lord, you score the penalty. Things like that can happen. And that is why sometimes we see battles and fights between the players themselves. Like I remember, do you remember Manchester United, the start of last season? It was Rashford, Pogba, they were all fighting for the penalty. And that is not good to see. And that is when you don't have that list. If you have a precise kind of penalty taker that you say, you are my penalty taker, that's fine. Like Messi was our penalty taker or is our penalty taker. And after that, I think it's Griezmann. But since Griezmann missed the last one that he took, maybe Braithwaite was first or Griezmann gave it to Braithwaite. But I believe Griezmann should have taken it. I think not just because Braithwaite missed it, not in hindsight I'm talking about it, but I wanted to see Griezmann face his demons per se and score. I think he needed to score. Griezmann is very similar in Messi, that sometimes he can miss penalties. You know, the one in the Euro final, the one in the Champions League final. Griezmann missed a lot of penalties. Omar Guzman says, honestly, Conrad should be getting minutes over Trincao. I agree. Conrad is a player we should be seeing more. For instance, in a game like this, I would have put Ricky in for Busquets, and then I would have put on Conrad for Pedri. That would have been my substitutions. Was he even called up? Can somebody confirm whether he was called up to the game? I believe so, but I'm not too sure. Kay saying, if we're desperate, why don't we play Firpo at wing? He's already only sits in the final third, even in the 4-2-3-1. I mean, it could work, but in reality, you could have more players that can play in those positions, of course, like Pedri. I guess you just have to see. It's horrible, honestly, when you have to build a squad like this. Because, Coutinho is not going to give you that much. Griezmann isn't going to give you that much. But you have to play them surely because of the amount of money that you pay them. And that's a sad thing, honestly. You need a really strong manager that is able to take those decisions. Or you need to create a good squad where they're all kind of balanced enough in terms of pay, where it doesn't really matter who plays or not. That is the reality of it. So I don't see it, honestly. Matthew Sandy Ford saying we need to cut our losses with Griezmann and Coutinho. I agree. Look, I said it quickly. Like, I agree, yes. I agree we should cut them. But in reality, for instance, if Messi leaves, I would keep Griezmann, but I would sell Coutinho. And Coutinho, I want him to succeed, but I just don't see how right now. With the emergence of Pedri and how good he has been playing, I would just say give Pedri all the minutes. I would just say that straight up, because Coutinho is so similar to Pedri that Pedri is just performing better, isn't it? Pedri is just performing better. And yes, oh my goodness, Debbie Hemmings. Debbie. That shouldn't have been set up. I agree with you 100%. When I left to the bathroom and then came back and I saw the game, it just started. And I was like, who Dembele got subbed on for? And it was Dest. I was like, what in the hell are you doing? That is the things that I do not get about Koeman. How in the hell can you expect for your team to be wider if you're literally removing one wide player for another? And in that, you're removing a defensive player. It made no sense whatsoever. It really made no sense whatsoever. I think honestly it should have been Dest and Dembele right from the get go. It should have been Dembele for one of the center backs. That's what I would have done. But I think Koeman, that is where he needs to fix himself because he looks to be quite what's the word? Quite stubborn. Koeman is quite stubborn as a manager, and that is something that we need to change. Forza Barça says, Buga, how about a match review of our next Barça B game? We'll see Moriba, Conrad, Collado, Balde, or Future maybe. All of those players I really, really like. But I don't know one word to watch Barça B games, so I need to watch that. I watch some of them because sometimes they put them on Facebook and sometimes you can get them through illegal streams. Not that I recommend, but but it's true. But also I have a lot of stuff in my bag, honestly. Yersus Cummings says, can you talk about Trincao? I mean, we already talked about Trincao, honestly. Trincao is a player that I believe that it's good. I think he has a bright future ahead of him, but he just needs to improve. He gets too anxious in front of goal. He never picks out the right pass. He doesn't seem to be in the right wavelength. When he starts, he's better. Like when he played against Ferencváros from the get-go, and the other game it was recently, he also played decently. But when it comes to entering from the bench, he's just not really there. And playing for the left today in this game just made zero sense to me, to be honest. And I just feel that he needs a goal. A goal, we could see some sort of improvement for him, but that's where we are. Emmanuel, again, when do you think Ansu Fati will be back? It pains me to see the player to solve for problems scoring goals in the stands. Yep, honestly, Messi and Ansu Fati are going to be two great additions. And I believe we're underestimating how big Ansu Fati really is. Ansu Fati is a great finisher. Like, I'm putting Ansu Fati up there with the top 20 finishers in the world, honestly. He's been showing quality finishing. And that is what this team is lacking right now. If one thing Ansu Fati guarantees you is goals. He's a poacher by trait. And that is what I want to see. I really want to see Ansu Fati get more games because that is what we need. That is what we need. I'm seeing Twitter right now, and there doesn't seem to be any more news, honestly, about Coutinho's injury. I wanted to talk about that because if Coutinho's injured, for instance, more people are going to be saying, sell Coutinho. But the reality is that how are you going to sell Coutinho if he's injured, you know? How are you going to sell Coutinho if he's injured? And they just had a third baby, or I don't know if they had a third baby, or is it that his wife is pregnant? So they're certainly not going to be looking anytime soon to move around places. So Coutinho right now doesn't seem to be on the way out. And that is discomforting, to be honest. It really, really is. What else can we see from here? We have some comments from Ronald Koeman saying, Ronald Koeman Dembele is a very important player and I'm glad he scored. You know what? I'm just actually going to show you Twitter. I don't care. Desktop. Here we go. I want to give you a little bit of zoom just so you see better. Is that too much? Yeah, that's too much. There we go. So Ronald Koeman, Barça, Dembele is a very important player for us. I'm glad he scored. And you remember that at the start, it was actually Koeman that didn't want Dembele. So at least he's kind of retracting on it. And that's at least something new, you know. Valverde and Kike wouldn't have done this. So at least we see this. Koeman, we play well, blah, blah, blah. We had good enough opportunities. In the first half, we had trouble playing from the back. I don't know why, whether out of fear or for some reason we didn't do well. That is something that you need to improve on. Like, you cannot say this, honestly. You're the manager. You need to find a reason why we're not playing well. I think that the reason is the pressure from Eibar. Mendilibar is such a good manager at stating that pressure, and that is his philosophy. He ain't going to change that philosophy, so you should have looked up for this. Maybe put some more respect on your opposing's managers. I think that is something that Koeman is lacking. Koeman is looking too much into Barça and not to analyzing that much the other managers. So maybe he really actually understands that the teams in the La Liga are not that awful. We will be doing better. Oh, I love this. Get a win, run on our 6th place. The best can do is a draw. This show is such a joke, man. What else do we see? We deserve the win. I'm going to put that because of copyright. We missed today. You can never say Barcelona play better without him. He always makes a difference. Yeah, Messi. Oh, we did Messi, man. We did Messi a lot. We missed Messi. Wait, the United scored? Let me just check that. I'm going to check that later, honestly. Araujo. Okay, this is what Araujo said after the goal. I'm going to translate because it's in Spanish. Araujo said, una cagada del gol. Es una jugada muy rápida. Okay, so it's a fucking bollocks, the goal. It's a very quick play, and we have to play in 2 touches. Losing those balls is very dangerous, and we risk ourselves. But we have to do it. We have to pick up ourselves because we are Barca and we're going to fight until the end. I mean, at least he went out by himself to speak, which is good. And this is what I agree. Honor Araujo siempre mi equipo guerrero. I like that. I like players that can accept their mistakes. And that is something new for Barcelona in a way. It really, really is. So at least we're doing that better. At least we are. Let me go back down to the stream. Omar Askil saying, I disagree with everyone. I think the minutes he played, Coutinho played well. No, I agree. Coutinho played well, in my opinion. It's just sad that he's going to get injured again because you need that consistency to get back into the rhythm, you know? And that ain't going to happen. That ain't going to happen if you continue getting injured. Maybe he will be sold because of it. Maybe he won't. We don't know. But Pedri is just doing better than him. He hasn't been playing the best, but I think mainly that's because Coutinho needs an arm around him and a manager that actually understands him to push himself forward. He always needed that. Like, if you take a look at Coutinho's start at the start of his career, it was Coutinho at Espanyol, and he would play under Pochettino, then he played in Inter, then Liverpool, and it was Brendan Rodgers in Liverpool that actually gave him his first big run of games. So he needs a manager to understand him. He does. Joshua Sorava says, did you see Messi shaking his head at the end of the game? Yeah, exactly. I feel that's all how we feel because at the end of the day, he's a fan. He's a fan. You cannot say he's a fan. He's a player that has been here for the longest of times. And of course he's going to be mad. Of course he's going to be disgusted with what we see because if I'm disgusted, he's definitely going to be. You cannot say he's not a proud member of Barcelona because he's been there for over 10 years. So of course he's going to be disgusted. Buga, are you secretly a Man United fan? No. No, I just follow football in general. I think United are laughing stock. No, I don't think United are laughing stock, but I don't support United. I don't support any team apart Barcelona. That is something you can be sure of. I know myself a lot of football, but no, I am not a Man United fan. Anglo X says, should Koeman be sacked and Xavi brought back? No, because if we sack Koeman, then Xavi is not going to come back, and Koeman is not going to be. We don't have anyone to take over, honestly. So I think 100% Koeman is going to be staying till the end of the season. So get that in your head. Ronald Koeman is going to be a good captain. He made a mistake and arguably cost us a few points, but he did what nobody else would and talked to the media about his mistakes. I agree. That is something that good values teaches you. And I like to think that myself I have good values, and I would have done that. I have done that a lot of times. I make a mistake, I go there and say, you know what, Mom, Dad, here, I apologize. I go to my school, sorry teacher, I did this, I apologize. So many times, honestly. One time I'll tell you a quick story. One time I didn't do a homework, like an essay, right? And I told to my teacher, I said, teacher, I'm sorry that I didn't do the essay, but I rather prioritize the other homework from the other course that I'm almost failing. So I apologize for that, but I didn't do the homework on purpose. And she was like, respect. And she didn't give me anything. She didn't put me in detention or anything like a punishment. No. Because sometimes it takes that. When you show a real decision like that, it means a lot. As1347 says, I've been a fan of Barca for a long time and I'm accepting these times, but still have faith. When is the new podcast episode coming out, since I really enjoyed the first one? Why push only 3 minutes? Well, first of all, good that you're having faith, because that is what we need, honestly, right now. 2, the podcast episode. The next episode is not going to be coming out for a while. So I'm really happy that you enjoyed the first one, but it's a project that we are still working on a lot. So that's a project that's going to be coming the next episode, possibly early 2021. I don't know when. Maybe it's certainly not going to be coming in January. That I can tell you. I can rest assured it's not going to be coming in January. We're planning a website. We're trying to open up article sites for a lot of you guys. It's a really big project. So just So just wait on the sidelines for a bit. You like Spurs because of Harry Kane? I love Spurs because of Harry Kane. Now I like every year I see this team and I go, you know what? I'm gonna support you because I say that because like Barca play a Sunday, then what do I watch on Saturday? You know, so I like Spurs this season, for instance. So this season I watch a lot of Spurs games. Another team that I've watched a lot of games this season is Aston Villa as well as AC Milan. So I always find these little teams that attract me, but I'm never gonna change my allegiance per se. And yeah, Harry Kane, I really like him a lot. I think Harry Kane would be bonkers in Barcelona. I think he would be incredible, but I don't think anyone would be getting him anytime soon. X Prime 10 says Omar Guzman, only because you went Conrad to took better is getting annoying. What? I don't understand that. Anthony Chavez says, what do you think about soccer in Peru? ¿De verdad quieres hablar de eso? Me da mucha risa lo de Alianza Lima, de verdad, porque no tiene sentido. O sea, si ya te relegaron, si ya te bajaste de división, acéptelo. Es como lo que hablamos ahorita de Araujo, literalmente. Solo tienes que aceptar que te bajaron, que te relegaron y listo. Trabaja, ponte el esfuerzo y recupérate. No te quedes hablando cualquier medio de que no sé qué, que este equipo puso una eliminación indebida, que este equipo esto, aquello. No. Tontísimo. Esa es una actitud de los peruanos que tienen que cambiar ASAP. What else? Senator. I'm going to call you Senator. Algulu. Martin Braithwaite is just useless for us. If he had scored that penalty, Eibar had no chance to sit back and we would have buried them in the first half. I have lost hope in Koeman's tactics. I mean, fair enough. I haven't lost hope in Koeman's tactics just yet because I think for tactics you need time and you need results and you need confidence. And those confidence sometimes can also come from the players itself. Of course, Braithwaite should have put that penalty in the back of the net, honestly. Economics erudite, maybe. I'm English, so I like Harry Kane when he plays for England, but I can't stand Spurs. Yeah, Spurs is like a laughing stock, honestly, because when I went to England, every time I talk to a football fan, I talk like, what club do you hate? And everyone says Spurs or West Ham, especially in London. So yeah, I get it. Spurs it's quite annoying, but I don't know. I've been to their stadium once or twice. I like their stadium, of course, because it's flashy, it's new. I'm a simple man. I have simple needs. I like a good beer in a pretty dumb stadium. And plus, they have the thing where okay, this is a bottle, right? They have the thing where the cap here, kind of when you put it on the thing, the cap, yeah, you don't feel the beer from up here. You feel the beer from down below, and that is pretty cool, right? I think that's pretty awesome. I think that gives Spurs for me at least 3 points. Omar Esh Duo. I have so many people call Omar here. What the hell? Says, look, I'm not saying that this loss is Koeman's fault, but for me, it really doesn't make sense that it took him until the 80th minute to sub Puig. Clearly, he has an unnecessary agenda against him. I do see that as well. I don't know whether that agenda is for the right reasons, for the negative reasons, for bad reasons, but we need to see how we are going to improve in that sense. Yahide says the same thing. Koeman is a joke, given Ricky Puig 5 minutes. I also agree with that. Makes absolutely no sense. Not precisely just because of the agenda, but because you need to play Puig. Like, he's a player that is going to be giving you what we're lacking. So just play the damn player. Just play the damn kid. Just put him in there. My goodness. This Barca team will be a clown in a Parc des Princes. Hopefully not. Hopefully we don't make a mistake. We still have some time to improve, but it's running out. It's really, really running out. Federico Sebastian saying, what's next for Barca this season? Honestly, for me, is find the team and find the players that can help you for the future. For instance, you can start discarding players like, in my opinion, someone like Lenglet. I see Lenglet and I go like, I don't see how you're going to be fitting in for the long run. Because if we get Eddie Garcia, if we get Araujo, playing better, Mingueza, I don't know whether he's going to be continuing or others. So at least we found Pedri, we found Dest. This season is to give these players consistency. If we can use this season to build these players up, that is where I feel we'll improve. Mikel Violin saying 4-3-3 Ricky Puig, Ansu Fati. The young Puig, Pedri in the midfield, and Messi and Ansu Fati and Dembele in attack would be my dream team. That's a pretty deadly squad. I agree. Junior Chambers saying, imagine what if the guy asks the questions doesn't understand what you're saying. What do you mean? Imagine what if the guy asks the question doesn't understand what you're saying. You mean like Araujo talking in the press conference or in the post-match reaction? Omar Asil saying, honestly, I would much prefer Coutinho plays in the middle over Pedri because I think it would get more out of him and Pedri would probably still perform too. Maybe. We saw pretty good Pedri on the left side against Juventus, so I don't discard that. Daniel Kalu saying, Des was trash today. Sloppy pass. Ooh. You know what? I actually want to talk about this. Thank you for mentioning him because I'm just going to read your comment first. Des was trash today. Sloppy passes, loses the ball a lot. Poor control, just name it. Attempting stupid dribbles. Today, Des was much better in defense than in attack. And that tells you a lot. I think Des is a player that sometimes you're going to be allowed these poor games. But thankfully, still, we don't have Sergio Roberto back fit. So if Des continues and comes back after this game and continues, then we could see him getting better because I agree with you in attack. I think Des was sloppy. He wasn't as good as before. So, yeah. David Hemi saying English, please. I was just answering a question from what I think is a Peruvian person, so I just say in Spanish. Can somebody ban that guy? I'm just gonna. Sorry, Daniel Kulu. I'm just gonna give you time of. Oh my god, I have to do this from YouTube. Oh no, I closed the page. Sorry, give me 1 second. On your own. Now I changed my music. No. I don't know why I have Fall Out Boy on my playlist. Like, I never listen to Fall Out Boy, but what the hell? He just crams himself into the playlist. I always forget to pull them out. You know when you have those songs that you just want to take out and you just forget about them completely? That is what I want to do. Yeah, I just put Daniel on timeout, honestly. And you know what? 8744, I like you. So you're going to be a moderator. Bang, you're a moderator now. You can do that yourself, okay? Stop telling me what to do. You can do it yourself. What was I reading? Hi there says, do you follow Talk FCB? No, I follow Talk FCB. I know who he is. I watch some of his videos, especially when I want more like different opinions. But I don't watch that much kind of football-based videos apart from my own. I listen to some podcasts and that's it. I listen to 3 podcasts and that's where it ends. I just like when you do YouTube like this, like you just don't have that much time and interest, honestly, to continue listening to Barca every single day. So it's like, I don't know, if you're a lawyer, you do everything in your law office or whatever, you know, and then when you get home, you don't want to read about lawyers anymore. So so it's kind of like there. We need a mental coach since Liverpool. Oh, we don't need a mental coach. We need a psychologist. That is what we need. We need a psychologist. We need a psychologist. Nelson Fumwamba says, Barca, we are good right from the start. We knew that this season would be hard for us, losing a legend like Suarez and bringing in new young players. It will definitely take a bit of time to perfect form. I agree with you, and honestly, I appreciate your calmness and your patience. That is something that Barcelona need this. So yeah, I think we need that. Kevin Akabar saying subs should not be made in the 85th minute. If you're losing, try to get a goal and sub the player and doesn't have enough time to impact the game and could disrupt the play. I agree with you. Subs in the 85th minutes are honestly just for making time. And Ricky Puig isn't a player to make time. It really isn't. So I agree with you on that. That is something that needs to improve ASAP. Firpo has his best performance for Barca today. I agree. He had a very good performance today. That left wing back position really helps him out. Shoaib Barbe saying the Barcelona podcast is the best there is. I've also heard of the Barcelona podcast, but I don't listen to it. Like I said, once again, I do Barca stuff mainly here. I research other stuff. For instance, I have a video plan on Erling Haaland. I read a lot of football, but I mostly want to listen about things that I don't look up my own. So I listen to 3 podcasts mainly. I listen to the Spanish football podcast to get more knowledge on the smaller teams like an Eibar, like a Deportivo Alavés. They are pretty good insiders into them. I really like that. I listen to Stadio podcast because I think their quality is amazing. And after that, I listen to BR Football Ranks because they are just, or well, not BR Football Ranks anymore. They're Ranks FC. And they basically do like fun, fun rankings. So for instance, they rank like where could Pogba go, or what are the best players to win the Ballon d'Or, the best upcoming kids, things that are just kind of, you wonder, but you never really know you're searching for that. So yeah, that's where am I. That's where I'm at with videos. You know, like I do my stuff on YouTube. I mainly do three things. For football, I read The Athletic. I read some articles. For Barca, I read Barca Universal, and I read the Total Football Analysis mag. I don't know the name, like Total Football Analysis Magazine, something like that. I listen to podcasts and I do my videos. That's what I do for football. Then I game. I play a lot of video games. I have these two bad boys right here that I need to play. Ghost of Tsushima, and I need to play The Last of Us Part 2. I need to play these games, but I'm currently playing Resident Evil, which is pretty much freaking scary. So I need to game there. And I do that. I game, I play football, and then I do some art, which is another thing that you don't know if you know about me, but that's what I do. So those are my three main hobbies. So I don't have time, honestly, to consume that much of stuff. When YouTube, my content on YouTube is just Pokemon, and that will surprise you. I literally just watch Pokemon. That is what I do. I watch competitive Pokemon. That is what I do. Christine, I think we will win La Liga eventually and get the Copa del Rey. UCL looks tough. I don't know if we're gonna win La Liga. It's hard. It's pretty hard this season. I think we need to do better to really win La Liga. Dula Azare says, I don't see Koeman winning a major trophy this season. I don't see it either. Hopefully the Copa del Rey. 8744 Buga, do you want to see Messi leave this summer? I don't want Messi to leave, but I wouldn't be disgusted if he lost either. Not because I don't like Messi, but because it will basically force Barcelona into the biggest of rebuilds the club has ever seen. So it will be interesting in a way. Economic Yurid says, do you listen to the Spanish? Of course, I listen to the TSF FP podcast with Silo Few and Alex Kirkland. Yes, I listen to them. I really like their content. Christian Gomez, The Last of Us Part 2 is so long. Really? How long is it? I was thinking of playing Last of Us Part 1, so I remember what the hell happened to Ellie and Joe. Like, I do not remember. I played that when I was like 11, 12, I don't know when it came out. It came out in like 2013, so maybe I was 13 years old. It's been a while since I played that. And then I was planning on playing The Last of Us Part 2. I have this weird rule with myself where I have to finish a game so that then I can play another one. So for instance, I have kind of FIFA, Dota 2, those are games that I play like every day just for playing. But I still have games that I kind of play for single player. And those are my like relaxed games, you know? So I need to play beat Resident Evil 2, and then I'll be able to play Last of Us. But I honestly want to play Resident Evil 3 as well. So I don't know where we are with that. Try Cyberpunk. Nope. Like my PC in the UK can run it, and it's a pretty good PC. It's like top PC, so I can run it there. But I hate glitches. Like your game has to be proper made for me to play it. So I don't like glitches. AD744, I don't think Todibo has a future in this club, really. AC113 says, do you watch Randolph Pokemon? It's a good channel. I know who he is, but he does mainly like opening packs and do things like that, and I don't like that. I like more like a Soul Link and Nuzlocke, things like that. So I watched this girl do Code Jaden animations, do like I attempted a Pokemon Platinum Nuzlocke, and that was pretty fun. Nelson Famba says, I still think we can beat PSG if we get things right. I agree with you. I think that it's honestly some few moments for us to, some few games, if we can actually nail a team down, we can do much better than this because we can play better. And in the UCL, honestly, anything can happen. And that's what I like about the competition. Terrence Wong says, please play 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim. I have no idea what the game is. Let me check it out. I have never heard of that. I have a friend that plays stuff like that. 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim. What the hell is this game? What genre is it? Is it like I have no idea what it is. Is it like a Persona 5? It's like a Nier Automata. What is it? I don't. From the pictures, I cannot tell what it is. Kevin Akbar says, hot take, Joao Felix is more a Barca player than Griezmann. I think Joao Felix is playing pretty well, but the same Griezmann was playing in Atletico, so yeah, that's where we are. If we get the buy with that money, honestly, I still think that buying the buy wouldn't be the worst of business. 5 million euros for the buy, and then you can sell him for like 20. That's a good business. 87-4, Barca should focus more on Liga than UCL. In my opinion, I think that it could be like Barca should focus in the La Liga to get Champions League football. Like, I cannot see Barca in the Europa League. That is horrible. We should get Champions League football. That is where we should be, and we are currently not. So that's our aim this season, sadly. But then we should still focus on the UCL because I think surprising things might happen. Christian Gomez plays Cyberpunk. If you want flying cars and you coming across the map. That looks horrible. Mad Scientist, we gotta focus on a Copa del Rey and win it. I think it will increase our confidence. Then we gotta focus on top 4. Indeed, I also agree with that. How long have you been supporting Barca? I supported Barca since like 2010. So since I was like 10 years old. Or less. Since Guardiola. Because I was here before. I watched Tito Villanova and the Pistachio. So since 2007, I think 2007. Hyder says, the buy is available on a free and so is Agüero. If Agüero comes in for free, would you be happy? Would it make Messi happy? It would make Messi happy, but it wouldn't make that much sense in the future of this club, honestly. Stanley Aloba says, man, let's be honest. Koeman, Braithwaite, Griezmann, and Coutinho aren't good enough and not going to take us anywhere. Unfortunately, it's sort of true so far, so I cannot really deny you that. It's just like there. Terrence Wong says, it's like a visual novel plus real-time strategy. Oh, okay. Okay, I get that. I haven't really played games like that. I like playing games like The Walking Dead, the Telltale Games one, or Detroit Become Human. Those are cool games. The Nuzlocke are awesome, man. I just did a Nuzlocke and I won like by the skin of my teeth. I had this Blastoise that I hated because it was so slow. It had the worst stats. But he pulled through. You know what? Blastoise, Leonardo, my Blastoise pulled through. How old am I? I'm 20 years of age. In 2 days, I'm going to be 21 because I was born on the 31st of December. So tonight we're 29, yeah? In 2 days, I'm 21. In 2 days, I'm 21. My birthday is on the 31st of December. I will only get the Paya and Garcia for a free. I mean, if you get them for a free, I'm happy with that. Bruno is what Coutinho hoped to be. Coutinho is a different player from Bruno Fernandes entirely, so I really put them together in the same category, so yeah. Hector Garcia, Lord Braithwaite sucks. I don't know why Grisi didn't shoot it. Grisi should have shot it, but Grisi has a worse penalty ratio than Braithwaite. So Braithwaite is not necessarily the best penalty taker. Neither is Griezmann, to be honest, but I do agree that should be better. Happy birthday when it comes. It's in 2 days, so I'm not accepting birthdays soon. You have to comment happy birthday in 2 days, not today. I won't count it. Javal. Yeah, randomized. Yeah. Javali. When you randomize Pokemon abstracts, it's amazing, honestly. It's amazing, honestly. It really, really is. I like doing that as well. Randomizing them is the best. I do that every single day. I have my own Pokemon DS costume, and I play it there on the plane and things like that. Amazing. But that's where I think I'm gonna be leaving it today, guys. I really think that's where we're gonna be leaving it because I'm tired. I want to do something else. I want to eat something. I haven't eaten lunch or anything. Literally, my entire lunch was a chocolate, this Smirnoff, and a bottle of water. That's everything I have eaten today. I want to eat more. Yeah, I know. Chinkao's birthday is today, and the 30th of December is Todibo's birthday. So meeting Count Todibo, we're Capricornios. That's where we are. So yeah, guys, hopefully you have enjoyed this session for today. And let's reflect on it. And let's subscribe to the channel as well. Subscribe to the channel, like this video if you enjoyed it. And also, please, guys, please go and check out our latest video on Frankie de Jong, because I believe that just simply enjoying what Frankie de Jong gives us so far and how we can turn it around could be a good thing. And tomorrow, hopefully tomorrow, later tomorrow or earlier Thursday, we're going to be uploading a video on Erling Haaland. So enjoy that as well. That's going to be it for me right now, and see you.